Welcome everybody to Robot Builders Night Virtual for January 13th, 2026. I'll get the name right eventually. Tonight we will do our normal roundtable presentation with any questions or stump the club later. And we wanted to do a reminder, housekeeping. DPRG will hold its annual members meeting January 24th at the Dallas Makerspace. The agenda will be the election of officers for 2026, brainstorming what members want the club to do in 2026, tech talk topics, and anything else, show and tell for any robot attendees may have brought, and a list of candidates for election was emailed to DPRG on the DPRG list. You guys should have seen that, and I believe there's supposed to be instructions to how to vote. I haven't seen anything as of yet. But that's about it. So, to get things kicked off, we have Matthew, who will give us a small micromouse update. Matthew, is he on the call?
I thought I saw him drop.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there he is. There he is.
Hello?
Matthew, do you want to go ahead and give your update on your micromouse?
Sure. Yeah, sorry, my connection just randomly died there.
Went down to
Okay.
300 baud, probably.
Yeah, I'm using the penny whistle thing. Okay, let me share my screen here. Okay, so can y'all see my stuff?
Yes.
So I think it's been about a month since I talked about this project. I wasn't on the call for the past few weeks. I was doing lots of traveling. So y'all never saw that the PCBs that I talked about last time came in. So I did on the final assembly, and I've got the robot moving around now. I'm not sure if you can see these videos, but I'll let them play out here. It can move an exact linear distance. We can also do exact turns. And this one is just me kind of knocking the robot around, and it's going to maintain the exact same heading. And then I have a very early test at maintaining a central line down a path. It's improved a lot since then. I just don't have a video of the latest one. But that's to where we are now. On the past couple of days, I'm chasing some software bugs I wrote like months ago. In the path solver itself, I keep getting weird results, so I'm tearing the code apart, I'm trying to find what's causing it. But it would appear that the hardware is working pretty well, so I'm happy that there aren't any major design flaws.
So
Does that have a front caster?
Are they gonna stay?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Those ribbon cables in the back, are they temporary?
Yeah. So yeah, the ones in the back, the two loops, those are what connect the motors to the circuit board. I'm either going to cut them shorter or just tie them up with zip ties. But at the moment, I haven't done that, and they actually serve as a pretty good loop to catch it if the bot kind of runs off, which has happened a few times. It's a lot faster than it looks. This thing can haul.
So does that have a front caster?
No, it's just a piece of cardboard. Oh, so funny story actually. Let me turn on my camera and I will show you what I mean. I'll put the robot here. So on the bottom here, I have the solder joints that connect the sensors on the front to the circuit board. I bought this black poster board that is serving as the test maze. Turns out, well, okay, so
It's pretty conductive.
trying-
huh?
exactly. I was trying
Yeah.
to test the board, and the right sensor started to malfunction. Like, what is going on? So I spent about 20 minutes on changing the sampling time on the ADC, and then I picked up the robot, and it started working again. And I put it back down, stopped working. Like, oh, wait a second. I think the board is the problem here. So sure enough, it was. So I put like a piece of cardboard as a makeshift caster, and the problem solved.
Yeah, and some of the one of the physics classes that I took, you could actually use a piece of that black cardboard and use pins to kind of simulate fields, electric fields and magnetic fields, and a little more electric fields. But yeah, so it's pretty conductive. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't really thinking about that because I've had this thing running around on the ground for a couple of weeks now. It has not been a problem.
Mhm.
So it just wasn't on the top of my mind, but I guess lesson learned. Yeah, so I don't have too much more today. I'm trying to get the software up and running. The competition is in March, so I'm scrambling to get the last of it working.
It's looking good though. Really good.
I believe that's a gold star.
I think so.
What's the gold star mean? This is my
Means
first one.
Means you got a working robot.
You're
Got a working
special.
robot doing some autonomous stuff.
Oh yeah. Working's a strong word, but I'll take it.
That's excellent. Okay, next up we have Stephen. I don't know if you're ready to go, Stephen. We're going to do our best shot to listen in.
I feel like we need some like silent music, like kind of piano, ding, 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 just to play along in the background.
Silent movies, yeah.
Yeah.
You mean is that,
Okay, so we've got the robot looking at the code.
all you need is a
Yeah.
Wurlitzer with some theater organ going on, huh?
Yeah. Look at that.
Gotta have an organ, right?
That's cool.
Okay, check this out. That looks like a really healthy gold star, huh?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
Covered the camera and he couldn't see it, couldn't move. Very cool. Very cool.
And very consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Okay, we'll give him a thumbs up, a nice quiet thumbs up. There we go.
That's
Nice
a good
work,
job. That's a gold star. That's working by itself back and forth between the April tags.
Yep. Nice.
Stephen,
Two different tags.
Stephen, have you intended your robot for outdoor use or just indoors?
I use it indoors and outdoors. It can go over a 2x4 pretty easily, so you can imagine pretty much anything other than a curb.
Anything other than the curb. Nice.
Yeah.
That's the next challenge, right? The curb.
The really big wheels are very important from my experience and everybody else's. When I attempted my first outdoor autonomous robot, I thought I'd found the biggest wheels readily available in the surplus store on surplus toys, and they weren't big enough. It kept getting caught in the park. Yes.
Oh wow, yeah. Good.
Are they like 10-inch?
Yeah, 10. 9 or 10.
Mine were about 5 or 5.5, which is okay in my nicely manicured lawn. But when I took it to the park, of course, doesn't manicure their lawn. They drive tractors on it and leave ruts in it.
Yeah, I have pneumatic tires, but no suspension. So, yeah.
Well, that's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, gold star. Our first 2 presenters, and we got gold stars on both. So that was the end of the presenters list that I had today. I see Fernando just joined. Fernando, do you have anything to present tonight? I take it no. Hello, Fernando. Do you have anything to present tonight?
Yeah, I could just go over kind of progress that we've made on design, and then looking over kind of the flywheel changes, the launcher changes that we've made, especially since last time, since it's been a while.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, it has been. Sure.
All right. See. And you can see Fusion, right?
Yeah.
Pardon me?
You can see the Fusion screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah.
My apologies. My Fusion is not up to date.
Always when you demo.
That happens to me with SolidWorks. It's really annoying.
Yep.
This is probably going to take a while, so I should probably just stop screen sharing. Sorry about that.
Okay, well, update your application if you want and present later.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, guys, that leads us to open mic part of our meeting. So does anyone have anything they want to ask, share, show off some Christmas presents? Talk about Teensy board not being available anymore except the 4.0 and the 4.1. That news came across my desk today, so that Adafruit is stopping to sell all Teensy products because of changes to the distribution. And the Teensy has discontinued anything below 4, I believe. So 4 and up, they still make, but anything below it, they are not making due to, I believe, shortage of parts.
Huh.
So I'm wondering if anybody has spent time lately trying to use some of these ChatGPT design planning models, like that help you get from the high level description all the way through coding and test. Kind of like what Kareem did, but I'm wondering if anybody else has played with that approach lately.
Although I'm using it quite a bit in general, I haven't played much with planning, so it's a no for me. But I've been wanting to try that more.
Okay. Because somebody suggested to me a repo, and I'm going to install it and give it a shot here. But there's a project out there that maybe I could put it in chat when I stop babbling. But this project, it's something you install, and it can work with your IDE of choice, whether it's VS.
Oh, I see. So it's not. So you're not talking about the plan mode that, let's say, is built into Visual Studio Code, GitHub Copilot, for example. Because some of these tools, like they have a selection. Oh, now I'm in agent mode. Now I'm in plan mode.
Oh yes, no. The one I'm thinking of, there's this repo that it basically it looks like what they've done is they've codified agile development process into like a dozen different agents. So or half a dozen different agents and 2 or 3 dozen different workflows. So you can get your test engineer, the test architect, the product manager, the scrum master, QA person, technical writer. They have a whole bunch of different, they got a UI designer, they got a whole bunch of different instruction sets to define agents for these different persona, so that those persona know how to behave like the best in class of those people in the real world. And then it also has codified these kind of workflows. So what you want to do when you start off a project, you basically open like the PM, product manager, I guess, or product manager, and it would start to ask you a series of questions, and as you answer them and interact with it, it'll start writing a product brief for you in MD format, Markdown. And then as you interact further and you think through it and you finish the brainstorming, then you can build on that, start new chats, and work towards a product spec. And then, get it refined down into architectures and all the way down to epics and stories and implementations and test suites. And it just looks really promising because the way they've broken it down, right? So the thing that I understand with these agents and AIs are that it's a real chore to manage the context. So you can get these things to do a lot of really smart things for you and a lot of smart work, but you've got to give them just the right amount of context. Too little and it makes bad choices and guesses wrong. Too much and it forgets stuff because it's only got a limited context window. And what this project does that I've seen is that it by mapping the real world persona to these AI agents that you interact with, they help you break your project down into manageable. So each step along the way has these human readable standard artifacts that you'd have in any old software project. But then those same artifacts can be used to drive the next agent to build and elaborate on the next bit of it. And it's a pretty cool thing, but I don't have much to say aside from someone. Actually, Steve introduced me to it, and I've looked at it enough. I want to try it, but I haven't yet. And it's, I think, very similar to something Kareem did with By Your Command, except this one is much more. It seems like really structured. So anyhow, if I stop babbling, I'll put the links to it in the chat here.
Did you get that from Steve Edwards?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Carl. Look forward to doing some reading.
Yeah. I'm on my phone tonight, so I'll just see if I can't put it in there somehow.
Ray has a package.
That's
Steel
Mike
weights,
Williamson.
or sorry, Mike. He got his steel weights for his robot. You're muted.
Oh,
you're talking,
lead
Mike.
shot.
Robot combat.
Little sink is.
Mini Sumo.
Oh yes, can't
You're
wait for
muted,
that.
Mike.
Oh, so I should be able to get up to full weight with my fishing weights for mini sumo. So I need to replace the penny. I took the pennies out. I need to take it apart and take the pennies out and put these in. So I'm excited.
Are you going to glue them in?
Oh no.
Yep.
I'll just fill up the reservoir and then screw it back together.
So this is in May, right?
Yeah. Usually it's the fourth weekend in May, but I know we've pushed it off because of the holiday into the first Saturday in June. I believe that's what happened last year. It will be announced as well. And typically there's mini sumo. They've been running a 6-can event competition. Quick trip and 4 corners.
And the barrel race.
And then last year, that's right, they did a barrel race competition.
Yeah.
And the quick trip, they had a 2 versions. One was for wheeled robots, and one was for legged robots. So it was interesting to see the different tactics used by people with the legged robots, which were a little slower to turn around. So some of them walked backwards.
You have to do a mid-course battery change with the legged ones, I guess, because they just can't make it.
Well, that's about it. I don't know if Fernando is ready yet.
Hello?
Are you? Did you get your update done?
Yes.
Are you ready to present?
Yes.
Excellent. Maybe we can get some questions going about what's happening.
So you should be able to see Fusion, I think.
Yes.
Right. So this is, I believe, where we left off last time, which has been a while, but it's just shooter, flywheel here. Now we have a whole robot. So it's already been through a couple iterations, and then this was shooter V1. We're on transitioning into V4. So it was interesting that you guys talked about the lead shot weights, because originally our plan was, hey, have a really light flywheel with this carbon fiber, so you can have fast spin up times. But after every shot, it would slow down a lot because of the lack of inertia. So we were fine for the most part, but now we want to make sure that we can quickly shoot balls. And so what we've done is we've added these. These are just casings to hold a bunch of ball bearings. Let's open this one. And so behind this CF plate are just a bunch of ball bearings in there. Now, the current one that we're using right now doesn't actually have all the ones in the middle because too much weight would eventually add up to being too much. The spin up times would be way too slow, and it's just more mass for the robot to carry around. So instead, the current versions just have this outer ring of 12 balls on each side, and in order to increase that inertia without adding too much weight onto the robot. And then additionally, we've ended up changing the profile of these TPU wheels slightly so that they match more closely to the actual shape of the ball. And then we also originally were using just the one motor and inside the flywheel itself. So we had the hub motor with no gear ratio. Now we've moved on to having 2 external motors, although currently we're transitioning into this due to a lack of parts. So we have one motor on the outside and then another motor on the inside, but hopefully we can get the second motor there. The hope with this is it's not going to go any faster since they're still both limited to that same max 6K RPM. However, it should be able to spin up slightly faster, which we especially need with this added mass of the flywheels.
Did you, I guess at one point you were talking about putting a TPU strip in the back so the instead of the ball skidding, it could actually, be given rotation.
So instead of doing the TPU strip, what we did was, not sure we have any pictures of it on Discord, but here, this face here, that's where the TPU strip went. We did do some testing with that. I think I showed some videos. But in that, what we're doing now is we're just using silicon tape, something like that. And so that makes it more easy to do like gradual increases of thickness. And it also kind of deforms a little so it can give that space that the ball needs. And it's pretty, it's both like, it's squishy, so it adds friction, but it also gets a lot of dust on it, so it can do some kind of like smooth surface. It's weird. But yeah, so we went kind of an in-between with that.
Fernando, you can clean it off with just like a wet paper towel, and that'll get a lot of the dust off, and it should get tacky again.
Yeah.
But I believe you guys replaced the silicone just last Saturday.
Yeah.
I think I saw you guys doing that. So it's 2 layers thick, and it's already like a pretty thick tape.
I think it's 8 millimeters total with the 2 layers.
No, it can't be that much.
Well, I think
that thick.
non-compressed it's 8.
Oh, okay.
What are the sensors on the side?
These?
Yes.
So these are just odometry pods. They have the little omni wheel and an encoder. This is the encoder here. We use those to track our position on the field, X and Y, and they should be around the center-ish of the robot. Yeah.
Okay.
They're from GoBuilder.
Yeah, that's a new design. I have some old designs like the previous.
Yeah, the
generation.
swing arms.
Yeah.
We had those on the last year's robot.
And these look much better.
Yeah. I think it's about pretty much the same, just the mounting style. It is slightly easier since there's no need for the extra lever arm thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could argue it's slightly more accurate in that there isn't like because they're limited to a 4-bar horizontal movement, there isn't any forward or backward component as the height changes. But at the same time, the wheels are also a little bit smaller. And so any imperfections in the wheels could lead to more accumulated error over longer distances. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But they're pretty accurate over like the course of like a minute or so. And because they're on omni wheels, it doesn't matter if your main wheels slip because they accelerate too much, or you brake hard and they skip, or if you get pushed around because these are on elastic suspension, and so they'll stay in contact with the ground unless your robot really gets popped up high. And so they should maintain pretty good understanding of how your position has changed.
How are the robot the wheels driven? The main wheels, are they chain driven from the motors?
Yeah. So I think we have like a 20-to-1 gear ratio here, something like that, and then there's just a chain here connecting the sprocket to this one, and then same thing on the other side.
Should have asked this earlier, but are the guys working downstairs able to show the actual robot, or I guess they would have should have arranged that ahead of time. It would take them a while to connect, so it's not convenient. Yeah. Plus, they could have it apart at the moment. I believe they're trying to put those ball bearing weights on the flywheel on tonight. They're also messing with the launcher mechanism. I'm upstairs because I've got a cold and I don't want to like spread it any further. So I'm not really in tune with what's getting done down there.
Right. So about the shooting mechanism, So say in line with the whole adding weight to reduce wait time between shots. Right now we're using this kind of paddle mechanism that lifts the balls up one by one, and it serves a dual purpose. So our this main channel goes straight through the robot. Our hopes is we're able to kind of play with our teammates, have the balls go through whenever the paddle's in the up position. That's the whole point of this pivoting joint there. But if we really want to get highest, I guess, throughput of balls, we'd have to have some kind of ramp or something similar. So what we're trying to do now is we have two options. We can either stick with just a simple ramp that is stuck to the robot, stationary, no movement, and that'll get us the ramp that we need for the higher throughput. However, then our little strategy that we're trying to get going won't work out. And then the second thing we're trying to do is having a ramp made out of TPU, so that whenever it's in the down position, the servo will start to bend it, and then it'll have enough space to fit 3 balls inside of the channel. So just horizontally this way, because with the channel in the correct position to launch balls, it's too long and too far out this way that it won't what's it called? It won't allow for 3 balls without some kind of messing around with the code band-aid. So we're using, I think, 68 TPU so that it's still stiff when in the ramp position, but it can still compress into a curve when in the down position.
I think there was a video on Discord of them just getting that installed and being able to compress it down. And I think David just hopped on, so he might be able to share a quick video of whatever they're doing down there.
I shall stop screen sharing now. David, all you.
Well, maybe he's not fully set up yet.
But yeah, the talk we had over with the TPU really helped out because they did have good results from it. And then we noticed that we still needed a decent amount more compression, because even on Saturday when we were removing silicone tape to replace it, we saw that we just didn't have anywhere close to enough launch power without it. So on that smooth nylon surface, and it was probably also too far away from the flywheel. So pretty good results, and just learning a lesson there.
Fernando, is there anything specifically you want me to show?
I think just the action of the servo bending it, and then can all 3 balls fit in there?
Yeah. Let me toss 3 in there. There's already 1 in there, but so. Oh wait, what? Yeah, all 3 can, but it like kind of sticks out the front just a little bit, which is maybe we don't need as long of a ramp, but it works a little bit. Oh yeah, it does. It does.
Is that with the ramp bent or?
No, I can't. It'll do better with the ramp. Oh yeah, no, it'll definitely fit with the ramp bent, but I just can't. The ramp, it's not powered yet. Almost working on that, but. Because we've just been testing with the servo tester so far.
Can you give us a slightly wider shot of the robot? Like back up a little?
Yeah.
That is sideways.
That is sideways. Sorry about that. A little front view.
Is it working at all right now?
Is it working right now?
I don't know. You could try and run the old code with it, but it's going to keep moving the paddle up and down.
Oh.
Like I haven't implemented the code for the ramp yet.
Maybe not, because
okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So did you print your own TPU tires?
For the flywheel, yes, and then for those intakes at the front. So the very front thing, the middle is a long belt, same thing with the one on the side. And then that long belt is connected on the same axle to those side rollers, which are also belts, but they're just long enough so that they fit directly onto the sprockets. And those were there to increase our kind of intake area. because we had the driver had to be pretty precise with just the middle. Unfortunately, with the one on the right in this view, I think, yeah, what's it called? The ball gets kind of stuck there because of the side belt. So the side belt kind of pushes it out while the side roller is trying to get it in. We've had that issue there, but the one on the left works pretty well.
So they were basically able to double their intake area, not triple it. But that anything that gives your driver room to be sloppy is usually going to be a speed increase. And if you're talking about the actual main drive wheels, those are not TPU, but all of the red stuff, is TPU. We've printed TPU wheels that size before, but we didn't do it for this robot. Anything else to present or to ask about?
I forgot what was the objective, is to get balls in there and then shoot them out.
Yes, into those red scoring zones. So to go into the basket and then roll down that ramp and collect there.
Can you show what the goal looks like, David? Yeah. So that open triangular area at the top is sort of like a basket that the ball's got to fall down into. And you can see there's an April tag on the front face of it, and that they have they're using April tag vision targeting or localization, actually, so they can figure out where they are on the field from the April tag position relative to the robot, and that can be fused with the ongoing odometry that's accumulated at the wheels.
Do you use the size of the April tag in the image to figure out how far away from it you are, or?
Yeah, you have to provide the size.
Yeah.
Yeah, so depending how far away you are, you have different forces you got to apply.
Yes, exactly. And it's not linear.
Mm-hmm.
But they can shoot from the maximum shooting distance. Can you put your phone, David, where the maximum shooting small triangle is, and then point it at the goal and see what that looks like? So it can shoot from about there, and it's pretty accurate. So have you guys measured the distance?
Can your humans do it manually?
The robot can aim better than the humans can.
Okay.
The humans can adjust once the first shot has gone, usually very, very well. But the problem is that you need to be a competitive team. You need to shoot 3 balls and sort of basically have them all in the air at the same time, and to get in order to get enough of a low enough cycle time.
I think it's about 14, 15 feet, or probably closer to 13, actually.
Yeah, it's a diagonal, but it's not a full diagonal of a 12-foot field.
Yeah.
So how much time do you have to shoot balls into the goal? Is it like minutes, seconds?
But technically, they have 30-second of auton, like always, and then the rest of the match is 2 minutes. And they could choose to do the entire match just focusing on that one task. In reality, if you're doing it fast enough, you've got delays, and if you David, can you show the ramp?
Yes. So let me get a view in there. So we have this main channel where the balls get fed up through, and this white piece of TPU right here angles the ball. Sorry for the bad views, but it angles the ball up into here. So unfortunately, we don't have anything coded right now. But what I can do is just kind of manually do it. Mr. V, is it okay to plug in a battery into that motor and demonstrate just how it shoots across the field.
You're back driving a second motor.
No.
You can do that.
I took the belt off. I took the belt off.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. So it'll. Can you get an angle on them?
That was two at the same time.
That was an accident.
Were you just pushing them from the back, from the front?
Yeah, I pushed him from both the front and the what's it called, the flap that we have, the ramp. But
okay.
Yeah. So I mean, that was actually pretty good. It managed to shoot it. Two balls pretty close. I mean, that was at the same time, so it was giving it a little spin of time. Plus, that was just one motor, but not the finest demonstration.
That's an excellent demonstration, I think.
Pretty cool.
Impromptu, putting you on the spot and you guys doing a demo. That's excellent.
Thank you.
I think that deserves a black star.
You'd have gotten a gold if you could drive the robot around, but they weren't planning for it. This is just off the ad hoc.
Black star and a thumbs up.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
That's excellent. Thank you guys very much for taking time out to give us a presentation here.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening.
Hey guys, any more questions for them? Or questions in general?
So did you say there were other tasks that they could do besides just shooting the balls?
Are they there? I believe.
Yeah.
You can answer that question, Fern.
Right. So there is the shooting the balls. That's the main method that gets you the most points. But then right by the goals, if you're touching the goal at that kind of angle under the April tag, you can place your balls, the balls there, and then you'll get points that way. And then if the balls are on that rail that goes down, if they're in a certain pattern, you get extra points that way after they've been launched. And then at the end game, so last 30 seconds of the game, we don't have it on our field right now, but there is an 18 by 18 box, just a square marked up by tape. If you're in that zone, you get certain points. If you have a partial robot in there, you get 10 points. If you have a full and a partial, I think you get 15. I can't remember the right values, but you can have. The main challenge is to get 2 robots fully in there, however you can. And I mean, your robots are going to be a max size of 18 by 18. Most tend to be 16 or 17. So then that's the challenge, putting both of those robots within there without touching anything outside of that tape. So what some teams have opted for is having a robot that can lift itself using slides, and there'll be space for a robot underneath them.
But it's a lot of work for a very small point gain, and a very precarious kind of position. So most teams aren't doing that. You'll notice that there's also that ramp that comes out of the goal, and what that'll do is it'll accumulate like 9 balls, and so there's an automatic gate there that prevents the balls from coming out. And in order to so if you load it up, you might get pattern points for the order in which the balls are on there, but then you have to release them to get them back into play. So there's a lever there. It's not visible on this one because they didn't ship them to us, but there's supposed to be a lever there that trips the gate and lets all of those balls out. So that's another thing you got to do periodically throughout the match.
And that pattern every match is randomized between 3 patterns. Every pattern, it's randomized, so there's 3 of them, and they rotate this. They call it's the obelisk, I believe, or something. It has the April tag, and that corresponds to some order of 2 purple balls and 1 green one.
And that just acts like a multiplier on any balls you've already scored, if you get them in the right sequence. But that's it. It's actually a very simple game compared to most games that I've had over the years.
Yeah, I don't see anywhere for the robots to hang off of things.
No, just, well, again, that's just that last one. If you want to stack yourself with another robot to get the maximum points for that one, and the reason teams might consider it is that you basically also get a ranking point for it, not just raw points. And ranking points increase there's a smaller set of those, and they have a higher factor in advancing you to the next level of competition. It's real complicated, and I gotta honestly say I don't really understand the new system very well yet.
Well, it's interesting. Look forward to seeing next videos in competition. Ray, you're muted.
I was just saying, I wondered if the U.S. military would be interested in what you guys are doing and maybe give you a howitzer to shoot a drone out of the sky or something.
Okay. Thank you, Fernando and David, for the presentation again.
Absolutely. Thank you for letting us present.
Next, I'm going to put Harold on the spot. Harold, you just joined. Do you have anything to present tonight? Harold appears to be away. Well, is that it, guys?
Or something is smoking in his shot. It looks pretty hazy there.
It does.
Yeah.
Maybe like here it's snowing.
But it's not blue. It's not blue smoke. What's going on?
Maybe
Yeah,
3D
release the
printer
magic.
went awry or something.
Release the magic smoke.
I just thought I'd mention an interesting observation. I mentioned I was doing my end of year workshop cleanout of all of the stuff I've kept way too long. And part of what I went through was a stack of old IDE hard drives. So I decided I didn't need the oldest ones. So I isolated out 13 of them that were 20 gigabytes or less. And by or less, I mean down to 400 megabytes. I was surprised they were all IDE. So I tested them all to make sure they were good. And just for the heck of it, I took some pictures of the drives and the test results and posted them in Marketplace. I had 4 people wanting to buy them all within an hour. So they're on their way now to Chilliwack, BC, for those of you that know where that is. A guy who's a member of the Chilliwack Retro Computer Club has bought them all.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was quite amazed. I was figuring, I'd leave them up for a few weeks, and if not, they were going to recycling.
Did you decide to wipe them all?
I did wipe the ones that looked like they had recognizable stuff on them. Yes, I ran NWipe on them. Most of them some of them I had to put partition tables on because I was testing them on an old motherboard that was running Linux. It was running Puppy Linux. So I was using the IDE interface to test them all. Partitioned them, and I formatted them all just to make sure that as a basic test that was working. When I initially ID'd the drives on the computer, some of them popped up with lots of interesting files on them. So those got wiped. FAT32s. Some had FAT16 formatting. A couple of them had EXT2 formatting on them. I don't know where these drives came from. They've been sitting around here a long time. But I had 4 people inside of an hour wanted to buy them all.
But you know, those were vintage when we stored all kinds of data in clear text files, right? I mean,
My
when I went
first
to-
hard drive.
When I went to college, they posted the results of our finals on the professor's door as referenced by our social security numbers.
Mm,
There was a list
Yeah.
of social security numbers on the professor's door, and that's how we got our grades.
yep. Same with me. A little too
My
much
first hard
sharing
drive was-
back then. We didn't realize it, I guess.
Yes, I remember when way back when I was running a department full of programmers and engineers, and the department secretary said she wanted to keep a list of everybody's birth date. And I said, and of course we'd all gone through the brand new conditioning about confidentiality and privacy. And I said, well, I don't think we should do that, but why do you want to do it? She says, well, because it's a tradition that when it's your birthday, you have to bring in donuts for everybody. I said, okay, you can keep their birth month and day, but not the year.
Yeah, in college, I got my first PC and I upgraded it from just a floppy to a 10 megabyte drive. So
That's what I was going to say. I had a 10 megabyte hard drive, was my first one, and there was nothing I could do to fill that thing.
There was proof that 64K is all you'll ever need.
Right.
I'm a firm believer in that still. 64K is all you can afford nowadays.
In my clean out, I sold 3 motherboards that were Pentium 1 or Pentium 2. Big demand for those. I sold 1 AT hard drive. It turns out I had 6 of them sitting around here. I tested them all. One of them was dead, so it got recycled. So I had 5 left. One guy bought one. Anybody wants an old AT hard drive, let me know. And I had 3 sealed install sets for Windows ME and Windows XP. Still shrink wrapped. And I sold all 3 of them at $10 a pop. Amazing what collectors will buy.
That's what I was paying for my Windows licensing. We buy them from third-party vendors, just a license string, until I found the script to activate Windows without paying any money. So
Well, I mentioned to the guy who bought all the motherboards that I have a couple of big cardboard boxes full of all of the original games and educational software that I had bought for my kids back when they were of an age that was suitable. My kids are 35 and 43 now, so that tells you how old this stuff is. But I have the original media, most of the original manuals, and some of the original boxes. So I mentioned to the guy that bought the hard drives, or that bought the motherboards, that I had these and I was going to sort through them. He says, here's $40. Please call me first. He doesn't even know what they are, but he says, call me first.
Timex Sinclair.
2 years ago, I used my license string from my VB5 application to install a VB5 on I think I put it on a Windows XP virtual machine to get it to run. And all I did was basically I grabbed the application that the customer had, and I exported it all to PDF so that I could translate it to PLC code. Yeah, translating 20,000 lines of Visual Basic code to probably in the end was about 300 runs of ladder logic for the core part of the program.
Yeah, I thought Tanner's sold. Basically, it was like an old game console that you could hook up to, I guess, Raspberry Pi 3 at the time, and it had some ungodly number of games on it, and like it seemed like high hundreds or even low 1,000 or something. But yeah, it was dirt cheap, and pretty much any of the, and it didn't seem like it was specific to Nintendo or whatever other game console there was. It seemed kind of universal, and yeah, you could spend hours thumbing through all the the different games that you could play and trying to figure out how to play them and all that kind of stuff, what the different buttons did. So, but yeah, and he'd just give you the website where all the games were. I think shortly after that, though, they started to charge for them. So
they started charging for the illegally downloaded games that they were putting on.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of those. It's like for Raspberry Pi at the time, I think it was Raspberry Pi 3, turned it into a little gaming console. And
Yep.
like you say, there was hundreds of games in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old retro Pi.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the website, but yeah, I didn't know how to play most of them. It's kind of like, okay, what's this? It's like, okay, flying a little plane around, crashing most of the time. So,
Hey, Harold, you're in the view. Do you have anything to present tonight?
No, not really. Well, yeah, no.
yes.
I have something to say, but not really present.
Something to say? Well, the floor is yours.
Okay. Tomorrow night on my Twitch stream, which I am at Harold Pulcher on Twitch, hard to find. I'm being all ninja, it's hard to find. On my Twitch stream tomorrow night, starts at 8 o'clock. Starting at about 8:30, I will be turning a pin because my sub people, my followers, would like to see that said thing happen. And we just recently, one of my followers made us a giveaway bot. So I'm going to turn a pin. I'm going to show them, go work through it. I got a thing on my lathe, which I don't have currently all powered up for you to see. And then when I get done with it, we'll give it away to somebody in the channel. And the pin will look something. I don't have all my right lights on. It'll be this style of pin. It won't be that SpectraPly looking stuff. It won't be the SpectraPly. Yeah, I'm sorry, my lighting blows at the moment. It's going to be a wingy, certainly not winge. That's how you pronounce it. Dark wood on a gold metal. If I'm feeling real spry, I'm going to see how that's going to work. I'll do two of them, but one of them for sure, and then we'll give that away, and everybody's welcome to enter. So I'm at Harold Pulcher on Twitch, and it's something I'm just trying new on a thing. Once a month, I'll turn something on a mechanical or lathe. It won't always be a pin. I've got razors and barbecue tools and screwdrivers and all manner of crazy stuff. I say crazy stuff. I don't know if it's that crazy, but it's stuff. And I turn it up and then give that away. I'm not going to give away anything on a whole any faster cadence than that, because well, I ain't got to give away unless I have some old Edison boards. If you want some Edison boards, I got a lot of those. I'll give those away in a heartbeat, but nobody even wants them if I can give away. So I have got that going on, and so you're welcome to join me and hang out. A lot of times when you start giving away things on your channel, it ends up being empty calories, meaning they'll show up for the giveaway and don't show up ever again. And so I'm not looking to become a giveaway channel, which a lot of channels are, but I think it would be fun. I want to do some stuff, and it's different. I don't see anybody else making a thing and then giving it away on the Twitch channel, just on the Twitch side of the thing. So maybe it's a little unique. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. We can give it a try. And all these pins are leftovers from a class I did for improving. So not to be saying they're cheap, they're a beginner quality level of pin, but they are already paid for. So I'm not having to sink any more cost into them. So since improving I work for, I can claim. If you want to claim on sponsoring, that's I guess I can. They don't know they're sponsoring it, but maybe I can. And so I'm going to do that. And that's just something that's going on my Twitch stream, where I'm also playing with terminal GUI. Oh, hold on. Maybe I will show something. See that? Come on. I got pretzels in my hand. See this bit of goodness right here? Oh, and they've got it backwards. Hold on. Is that bit of goodness right there on the white thing? That's what I've been dorking around with on my Twitch stream, off and on doing things. And that's an ESP32. This little bit here is a serial gone down to their Arduino that's controlling the bot. Oh yeah, mechanics pin, by the way. Made that blank too in all the colors. Crazy stuff. Anyway, yeah, got a tire on top of it. Monkey wrench, throw a monkey in the world. Anyhow, it's got a little display that comes up that gives me the IP address. It becomes a web host running SignalR. And we've already proven that I can get a web page off of it. I've got a console app that connect up to this thing, drag data off of the thing for wireless logging. And it's going to be eventually a way to send commands back to it, but I'm using this thing called Terminal GUI, which gives me this it's got an amber, like, you know, the old green screens. Well, they've got an amber looking thing, which was my favorite version of the green VT100 green screen, was this amber VT100 amber. I mean, hey, you know, I'm not green, I'm amber, yo. And it's a console app that knows how to do lots and lots of things. You folks have seen it before, but it's been many, many years ago when I was dealing with Ross and doing a whole bunch of stuff where I had a controller and where I was bouncing back and forth and showing it, and it's progressed quite a lot since then. And so I'm looking to make this wireless, because, you know, once you get I'm trying to, the PID loop on this thing is real finicky with all the numbers and the coefficients and stuff. And I get close, but I don't get close enough. I get close where if there is a little bump on this guy that it can ride up against, it'll stay there all day and it's great. But as soon as there's not a little bit of resistance or a little bump somewhere, it doesn't take it very long for it to spin out of control and kill itself. So I've got to be able to tweak it in real time. And as soon as I hook a USB cable into the thing, guess what I can't really do anymore, because it's not really a balance spot anymore, because it's got something holding on to. It's got handrails, so to speak. And so I was coming up with this thing. Seems like a good idea. And my idea that's percolating in my head, I don't know if it'll ever come to fruition, not making any promises, is that the ESP32, a buck converter, and a little OLED, all of this seems to me that I could turn all of that into a KiCad PCB kind of thing, slap it all together, and have for these wires to be screw terminals into the thing, and that'll be the only thing it's used for. You plug it in, you turn it on, you have an access point, and you get an IP address to be able to connect up to the thing, and away you go. You know, and then you can have your console app running over here to see all the various bits and pieces, which, you know, you're going to code that to whatever thing you care about at the time, because obviously a balance spot, you know, you're going to care about acceleration and your gyro and some of those things, but you may care about other things, or you may not care about most of those things depending on your bot. So you're going to have to code up to whatever that is anyway. But that is a mechanism of what all this thing is a pass-through. It takes whatever's on the serial port, fires up a signal R hub, and whatever's on the serial control port just gets regurgitated out to that. And whatever's on the back side of that takes it in. It's a CSV. It's a CSV at the moment, but it can be, we haven't figured out all that we're going to send out. So it could be a whole bunch of stuff. So you can unpack the numbers and show them on your screen, so you can have a way to monitor your stuff off of serial port. So, and then it's supposed to go both ways. So I'm supposed to send something back through the Signal R into this thing, and the Neo software serial that I've got on this is supposed to be able then to send back down to the Arduino and have it have commands and stuff on it. So that's kind of what I've been playing with and doing on my stream. And it's taken some time to get there because we tried some things and of course they blew up, and we tried some other things, they blew up. And then, well, you know, had this Christmas vacation thing and this other stuff going on. And so my true intent is to put this 2-wheel balance bot into our Roborama in May and April, and see if that doesn't float a boat. That's my intent. I have no other robots I plan on entering. So work on this thing and it's going to fall over and die, or maybe just not go anywhere. If it stands still and I don't have to touch it for an hour, time against the Roborama, I'll consider it a success. But that kind of thing. And we'll see what else happens with that. But in order to be able to do all that, I got to be able to communicate with it and not have wires on it. And I'm sure people have solved this before, some way, shape, or form. I didn't do a whole hard look on it, but every time I go look for this kinds of things, people say, well, we just tweaked these till it worked, and now it worked, and we don't bother with it anymore. I'm like, okay, so I want it to be a little more configurable than that, because it's finicky as all get out. Because if I add, if you add one thing to this thing, like if I add another thing for a sensor, which is not on there, it's going to change the set point of what's going, where it's all going to balance, but where is it going to balance? Is it going to balance at 0 straight up, or 90, depending on how you're going to reference it? Or is it going to be a little bit off one way or the other for your set point to balance? It'll balance, but it'll be off. It won't be straight up. And you can code for that a little bit. There's a little code in there that's supposed to, that takes care of some of that. But then when I put it on a different flow, or I do something else, maybe I want to change some stuff, or I want to tweak some stuff, and not have to recompile the Arduino code every time and shove it in there. And so anyway, that's for my idea. Maybe it's too grandiose. I don't really know. I'm mucking around, that kind of stuff. That the other thing, I'm sure I've not said anything that most of you hadn't thought or have said yourselves before very long at all. It's common, So the other thing, this weekend, I will be at the VEX Regional State Championship as a judge. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys talked about it again, been talking with Trish. I believe Mike was on a phone call with me the other day, yesterday, and those kind of things, being a judge in our judges call. It looks like that's going to be a lot of fun. And there was one other thing. Oh, there's actually two other things. I am considering heavily jumping onto the Platform IO bandwagon because of Arduino's bought out from Qualcomm. They say they're not going to change anything, but when at the very core of all of this is reverse engineering stuff to have it do different stuff or more stuff in their clarifications of their EULA and user license agreement type stuff, that says you can't do that. Literally says you can't do that. Lady Ada reached out and they said, yeah, if you can do whatever you can do now, you can do then. We were just trying to clarify things. I'm like, yeah, every time somebody writes something down or starts measuring something that they just want to know, guess what? That becomes a metric or a quota or a thing. People don't start measuring stuff and clarify things that they don't want to control. They just don't do it. I mean, you think they do it, but they don't. And the other thing, speaking of Lady Ada, is I don't know if you guys saw it. I just saw it before I was leaving work. Adafruit will no longer be selling Teensy products any way, shape, or form. If that's not new, if everybody's already talked about that, I'll shut up. But if you want me,
I mentioned that earlier, Harold.
okay, then I'll shut up about it, because it's just really weird that they do that, and she verified it, and they're making their own clone, right? Right, Pat? They're going to make their own clone?
That I didn't hear that, but I
Yeah,
did hear that according to Teensy, below 4, so they're 4 and 4.1 are still going to be active products. Anything older than that are being discontinued. But Adafruit was getting out of it because of sourcing problems. That they're having issues. Teensy is changing how they distribute, and Adafruit, I'm assuming, is not happy with it. So they're saying that basically they're going to get out of it completely.
Yeah, and in that same blog post that I saw from Adafruit, they said that they're actively working to make compatible boards for the things they want to keep selling. So they're going to, and the working title is Freensy, like FREENSY. So there you go.
Okay, there has something to do with it. Then I take it.
Yeah, it's news of the week there on that deal. Anyway, I can keep talking if you want me to, if you let me, but that's about all I wanted to say.
Well, Harold, I'll see you on Saturday.
Yep. Staying. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going on
Thanks,
Friday.
guys, for helping out, Trish.
So, Mike, Friday for what, Mike?
Oh, to help set up the fields on Friday.
Oh, okay. What time is that going to be during the day?
Pardon?
What time is that? Daytime
I
hours?
think they said be there at 8:30.
Oh, okay.
In the morning?
Yeah, my day job is day jobbing, so
yeah,
I will not be able to do that. So.
Yeah.
Right. But Trish said she's going to be there all day and all night. So,
yeah. She got nothing better to do this week except do this. So,
well, hopefully everything goes good for them.
Yeah, I ain't even seen the competition.
92 teams?
Yeah, I ain't even seen the competition yet. So I hope these things are usually pretty cool ideas, pretty challenging, you know.
Well, we'll look forward to some reports and maybe some video from Trish.
yeah. VEX is a lot different than what Kareem does. It has, because you have to use all these standardized parts and everything.
And as far as the video and stuff goes, we'll see what we can do. But we were in that call last night, and I was not really taken aback, but I found it curious about how big of security they are. So when we're judging, we can't share the rubric, what we're judging against. We can't share any of that. We will have a physical notebook that we write our stuff into, and then that will sort of follow the team around in some form or fashion. I'm sure some judge person keeps track of it all. And then, because if we want to refer back to it at some point, we can, but it's a physical thing. They're not online. We're not writing anything online. In fact, they told us not to have a computer and put any of this stuff on a computer. And what Trish said, that at the end of this contest, anything that doesn't go directly to the world's contest, she has to guarantee they're destroyed. So I don't know what all that means. I don't know why that is, but that's what she said. So
is the judging booth in a skiff?
In a skiff?
No. Yeah, like a governmental skiff. Yeah.
Well, I don't suspect though. I think we're going to be in a big room with everybody else. We'll have whoever you're judging, you're probably one section of the room. I bet it's going to be loud and crazy, which is fun because when kids start doing things, they have ideas. And like I've done a couple of times, I did the Dallas Science Fair contest, and and it's loud and crazy, and these kids are excited, and they're doing stuff, and then you can tell who's got the prepared stuff, who actually did the real work, and who's just riding along. It's pretty easy to tell when you just talk to them for a little while. And some of these kids, they don't know they can't do something, even though they're about to try to do a thing they can't do. It's just not possible. They're still going to try to do it and be enthusiastic doing it. And I love that. Yeah. I truly do love that. I do love that. And I suspect we'll have some of the same kind of things.
So have you looked at this? Have you looked at the notebooks that you're supposed to grade?
I haven't looked at any of those.
Okay.
Did she send them? I didn't see her send them. I didn't see her. I saw on my email, I saw she sent us a schedule, but I haven't seen my notebooks that I'm supposed to grade yet. I haven't seen that.
At the bottom of my email was a attachment with a spreadsheet.
Okay, I'll have to go look at that then, because I was at work, and that's on my personal email, not my work email. And I've been separating those things out. In a heinous fashion.
She sent it out this morning, and
yeah, should be fun things. I want to watch a video or two of past competitions, and we certainly should go watch the video of whatever the current contest is we're about to judge, so we can understand what they're trying to accomplish.
And if you have the time, you can do the judge's certificate online. I'm trying to work through that. So
I suppose I should have the time, one way or another.
She said it wasn't necessary, but it's advised. So we'll find out. We'll find out what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I got to drop out. Getting late here. I got an early morning.
All right, bye.
You guys can carry on. Mark, you're going to stop the recording after everything's done?
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's time to go. Bye.
I think we'll call it right there, Pat.
Everybody
Take care, guys.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Good night, folks.
Thanks, Mark.
No worries.